This is probably the last little stack that'll fit on this pup. But there's not enough out here for the semi to come back out. So I'll probably just bring the 10-wheeler back out to pick up the rest of it. What's up, guys? Welcome out to another beautiful day on the farm. Today, you can see we have some bales right here, and I am in our loader. Josh is out in the field in the other loader, and Trevor and Macario are both driving truck. So we have our 10-wheeler that will hold, I think, 15 bales, and then we have our semi with a pup that I think holds 58 bales, but I don't really know. I haven't added them up. But I just got done stacking the first load. Now, we have, I don't know, some problems. Basically, the hay is too wet. It was good, and we baled one field and then half of another field, and that was all good. And we were gonna bale the rest of it, and then the next 2 days it rained like 3 times. We didn't get a lot of rain. We got like a 1/4 inch of rain, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it makes it so you can't bale your hay for a few days. So here it is about 4 days later, and we are still not able to bale. So now we're just picking up the bales that we have baled, and we'll be baling hopefully tomorrow. I don't know, it's gonna be hit or miss whether or not it's dry enough. One problem is both the baling tractor and the rake tractor are both broken right now. The baling tractor, Trevor went out and started to bale. The bale, it was way too, it was like 30% moisture, so he stopped, came back, and it was leaking hydraulic oil out from the front of the engine. There's a valve body up under there or something, I don't know what it does. But it was leaking hydraulic oil out of there, and then I don't even know what happened with the rake tractor. Josh just said it broke and we had to go get him from the field. So the John Deere mechanics are coming out. Hopefully they'll get those going, hopefully soon. We have one other tractor that we could hook to something, and if we really needed to, we could possibly hook up our narrow track tractor that we use on the harvester, our 8370 RT. We could hook that up to the baler if we needed to. We could not hook a track tractor up to the rake, but the baler, it can take a track tractor. So we have those problems, but hopefully we can get those solved this week. Hopefully in the next couple days, because we really need to get this baled before the weekend, because we're all going camping. We like camping. So Trevor and Macario, I just unloaded them. They're back out to the field. They'll be loaded up, and then I'll show you how we unload them when they get back. One thing that's kind of crazy is you can see how green these are. These are nice green bales. That is also hay from first crop, and it is very yellow. The sun has bleached all the color out of it. If you broke those bales up, they'd be just as green as these, but it's crazy what the sun can do to a bale. All right, Trevor's here, and judging by the fact that he's not fully loaded, this must be the last of that field. It was just a little field, not even too, well, I guess if the 10-wheeler wasn't running, there'd be two semis full, but we'll get them unloaded here. We have probably 1 or 2 semis worth baled on another field as well, so it shouldn't be too much today. Now you might be wondering why I'm stacking them the way I am, not going 6 high and leaving gaps between them. Well, that's because this hay is a little wet, and we don't want the stack to light on fire, so this is why we're stacking it this way, because we don't want our hay to burn. Hay's not worth very much, but it's worth less if you light it on fire. So we stack them about 6 inches to a foot apart. That way the air can kind of blow through and it can dry the moisture out of them. If you stack them right close, tight together, they'll start to mold, and that mold will produce heat, and they will internally combust. They'll just light on fire. And there's usually a haystack here and there every year that lights on fire, and we don't want it to be ours. So got stacked a little bit close. Let's see if I can get this off without destroying the other. There we go. But yeah, last year, about a mile from my house, a stack lit on fire, and when they light, ask any firefighter who's ever sat on a haystack fire, it'll take days for it to burn out. Like, you can't really put it out because it just burns from the inside out. So best thing to do is just stack it with a little air gap, and then you don't have to worry about the stack lighting on fire because it'll dry out. If we hadn't got that rain, this hay would have all been nice and dry, but these bales aren't very wet. They're just a little on the wet side, but they're not very wet. But just to be safe, we're gonna stack them like this for probably a week or so, and then check them with our probe. And if the moisture has come down, we'll restack them in a nice stack. But I'm gonna finish getting him unloaded, and then we'll see how much more we have to do. It's kind of fun unloading and loading the trucks, just because, I don't know, it's like you're building a little tower, building a castle, I don't know. It's kind of fun. Running loaders and stuff is just fun anyway, so. All right, I'll bring you guys back when the 10-wheeler gets here. Well, there goes Trevor. He's all empty, and he texted me and said that this is the last of the hay off the field behind the barn over here. So the next will be off the hills, which means I'm gonna go over to that side, and I'll probably stack it right there. That's first crop, so I don't want to get close to that. We'll just make a new stack and kind of stack it over there. Here comes Trevor. This loads off our hills field. Let's get him unloaded. Well, Trevor had to leave, so I'm gonna hop in the semi and go out. He said there's about 2 more loads out in the field, so I'll run the semi back and forth with Macario and the 10-wheeler, and we'll get the rest of this done today. Well, I've driven a whole lot of 10-wheelers, but I can honestly say this is the first time I've ever driven a semi. We've never had a semi on the farm, other than moving the trucking company that we use. Other than moving their semis around the field a couple of times, I have never really driven a semi, so this is new to me. It's kind of fun. It is very long. I have to make very wide turns. So, yeah, it looks like there's probably only one more semi load out here, and then maybe another 10-wheeler load out here. So, yeah, not too bad. We'll go out and get loaded by Josh. All right, made it. So, unfortunately, we have not been able to stack them. He's got them stacked up in threes, but not bunched in very many bunches. Because we got like a stack of three there, stack of three there. There's a couple stacks of three out that side. But we'll get it stacked up. This is also the field that he was raking and the rake broke. And this is also the field that he was baling and then it started to rain. So we did not get as much done as we were hoping. Hopefully we can get this to dry out and get back to baling tonight or tomorrow. This field is definitely the driest field, so we'll see. Bales all the way around the field. This is probably the last little stack that'll fit on this pup, but there's not enough out here for the semi to come back out, so I'll probably just bring the 10-wheeler back out to pick up the rest of it. Now the forks that are on that one, we picked those up at an auction and we cut them apart and modified them so that we could have taller forks for this loader, just so a bale wouldn't come falling over on the cab of the loader. So yeah, we just got those ones back together. This is the first time we're using them. Looks like they work pretty good. All right, I'm all full. Now I just have to go unload it. All right, we're back. And Josh went and parked his loader, so my guess is that we are, after I unload this load, that we'll be done hauling for today. Which is fine with me because I have some pivots and stuff I need to go check. So let's go hop in this loader. We'll get all these bales unloaded. Alright, just like that, we're done for the day. So, you might be wondering why we stack it like this. Now, I've told you, this is for the air gaps, but why put so much space in between? I mean, this isn't really for drying. It'll dry just fine if we stacked them close this way. Well, I mean, it's for playing hide and seek. Why else would you stack it like this? You could run right here and jump in between here. Hide and seek is where it's at. But no, for real, we have to walk in between here and probe all these bales, and they actually take core samples out of these and they will go test them, and they'll get the moisture and they'll get the feed value and all the nutrients and stuff that are in it, so that when we sell it, the person who's buying it knows exactly what they're getting. Here's our baler tractor that's down. The rake tractor's out in the field, but C&B operations are out here already trying to get it fixed. When you buy a piece of equipment, you don't buy it for the equipment, you buy it for the service on the equipment. The C&B is pretty good about getting out and getting things fixed. Well, I was gonna end this video here, but I thought, why not bring you guys along to go start some pivots before I have to go home at the end of the day? You might enjoy that. So, you wanna join me? We're gonna go start some pivots. I had to start some hand lines this morning, so I shut the pivots off, turned the hand lines on. Now I gotta go turn the hand lines off and turn the pivots back on, because it's gonna be 95 degrees this week and we do not want any of the potatoes to be dry. That would be bad. Hey guys, if you like these videos, make sure you go down below and hit subscribe. It really helps us out. We're trying to grow. We're almost to 100,000 subscribers. Now let's go start some pivots. Well, these are all the hand lines that I started this morning, and it should have watered up enough to last for a few days, and I'll start them in a few days. But we got to get these pivots going because they dry out really quick. Because this field, for whatever reason, this side of the field is like heavy clay soil, and that side of the field where all the pivots are is basically straight sand. So the sand dries out really fast and the clay holds the moisture really long. So yeah, I got to get the pivots going again. I can already see that it's starting to look pretty dry. Now these potatoes sure look nice. This field was the first field that we planted, and honestly, because it is really sandy, these look about the worst out of all of them, and they still look pretty good. We would like for the rows to be closed more, for the vine to be a lot bigger, but it is coming along. We're still pumping fertilizer, so the vine should still be growing. Once we get enough vine, we'll turn off the fertilizer, and that will start to increase the size of the potatoes underground. This is where my pants get soaking wet and dirty. I have to go turn off the riser over here. Turn this off. Now I just have a valve to flip way over there, and then we can start all this back up again. This is the valve that I gotta shut off. I gotta open the door because I'm not quite long enough arms. There. Now let's go start it. That one's on. Pump's on. All of them are on. Now I just have to wait for them to pressurize and then set them all to go. Okay, the pivots are going. Watering. I don't see any plugged ones, which is nice because that means I don't have to get soaking wet. The end gun looks like it's working good. I hate working on those things, so I like when they work. Now I have 2 more pivots that I have to go shut the solid set off, turn the pivots back on. So let's go do those real quick. Turn this off. Turn this valve off. Turn this on. Now that pivot's going. Uno más, which is Spanish for let's go do the next one. It's not. That's not what it means. It means one more, but you know, you gotta have fun with something, right? Turn this off, flip it to auto, come over here, shut this riser off, it goes to one hand line. Now I gotta drive out to the pivot center. Now I gotta shut this valve off, which can be kind of difficult sometimes because it's very stubborn. close all the way. Usually that's about as closed as I can get it. And then I need to open this one, which doesn't like to open sometimes. There. Got it. Pump. There's the water. Now we're filling it up. There we go. Now I just come over here and hit go. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to join the RMF club and have a chance at winning some free stickers that I'll be sending out weekly, make sure you go down below, hit the link to the form and fill that out. Get your name on the list. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.